Hey, it's Matt from Boise Black Rifle. I'm out here at the range today to zero an optic on one of my handguns. New optic, new handgun. And I wanted to talk about something that a lot of people ask me about, or ask about, not just me, but they ask about at the gun store. A lot of people, so I'm the old guy at the gun store. I'm 52. And when I hit about mid 40s, my eyesight started to go into crap. I can still see anything beyond my fingertips perfectly clear, but if it's closer than that, I need my reading glasses to see it clearly. Obviously, wearing reading glasses while shooting is not ideal because while I can focus on my iron sights, um, gun is clear, no round in the chamber. You can see that there. There's no magazine in the gun. So let's talk about this real quick. Iron sights, obviously, if you're familiar with firearms, you've got your rear sight here and you've got your front sight up here, and you align them properly and on the target, and then you pull the trigger. If you can't see them very well because they're blurry, it's much harder to align them. So shooting accurately with iron sights when your near vision has gone or is not good is very difficult. So for people that are getting up there in age, who are also the same generation that's very reluctant to try new things, I was one of them for a very long time. Did not want to mess with handgun optics because I thought it was just silly. However, after I tried my first handgun optic, I was sold. It took maybe 10 rounds and I was sold on the concept. So let's talk about that real quick. So with a red dot handgun optic, you don't have to worry about sight alignment like you do with iron sights. Iron sights, you got to get the front sight aligned properly within the rear sight, get your elevation set properly left to right. So there's some movement there, an alignment that you need to do to shoot accurately. Red dot sights, you don't need to do that. Once the red dot sight is zeroed for your handgun, you put the dot on the target and you pull the trigger. So it takes, not only does it take the sight alignment out of the problem, which if you can't focus on your sights, that's a huge problem. So not only does it eliminate that, but it also makes it much easier for you to reacquire your sight picture after the first round. On iron sights, every shot you got to realign your sights. With a red dot sight, you align your sights, you put your dot on your target, you pull the trigger, and if you're controlling a recoil properly, the gun settles back and you will suddenly see the red dot appear right in your vision yet again, and it allows for much faster follow-up shots. So let's talk about this. Getting back on topic there. The benefits for people who have vision problem, near vision, who need reading glasses, typically older generations. As you get older, that's people who've even had perfect vision their entire life are going to start encountering vision problems as you get older. It's just the parts of your eye start to get hard, and so they don't focus as well at things that are near. So that a red dot optic solves that problem for you. You don't have to worry about focusing on your iron sights. You can just use the dot. So nothing else about shooting has changed. It's just you're using a different sighting system. It's no different than using a red dot sight on a rifle as compared to iron sights, which is funny because a lot of the guys my age who come in and kind of scoff at the idea of a handgun optic all run red dot sights on their rifles. So I think if you are even remotely having vision problems, or you're looking to be able to shoot faster, more accurately, you really need to think about a red dot sight. So let's talk about this. We've got, this is a Walther PDP. This is the F series. It's not female, but female gun, because all the paperwork that comes in here in the box with the gun, there's no NRA paperwork, but there's all kinds of female, women only shooting groups. So anyway, I like it. I got big hands, but this gun feels really good in my hands. This is going to be the first day I've shot it. I haven't actually shot it yet. I've got several other PDPs. I've fallen in love with the PDP line. On this gun, I've got a Holosun optic that has not been zeroed. I also ended up putting on suppressor height sights so that I can co-witness my iron sights through my red dot. If it's a competition gun, that's not important because you're not going to be worried about having anything to back up for your irons. I'm sorry, for your red dot in case it fails. However, on anything that I'm going to carry or potentially carry as a self-defense weapon, I need to have something in case my optic fails. Holosun makes fantastic handgun optics. There's lots of companies that make very good handgun optics. Trijicon, oh God, don't get me started. We probably got a dozen different handgun optics in the optics case at work. So this is the 508T, and so let's just talk about zeroing it. I've got a clean target on the range down there. I'm going to load a magazine, and I'm going to see where the dot is at first. So I'm going to fire 3 rounds using my dot to see where it's hitting. Before I do that, I should probably put my eyes and ears on. So let's see where I'm at to start with here. All right, those 3 shots, take these off so I'm not screaming. Those 3 shots are low and left. I'm about 1.5 inches low. By the way, I'm shooting at 12 yards. I'm about 1.5 inches low, and I am about 1 inch left. So I'm going to grab my little handy dandy screwdriver here and make a couple of adjustments. And I didn't bring reading glasses. Let's see here. So that is right. I want to go left. Nope, I'm sorry. I do want to go right. I'm going to go a little bit right. And I'm going to go a little bit up. All right. So I don't know, I can't remember if these are quarter MOA measurement or adjustments or half MOA. I don't remember what the adjustments are. So I went 4 clicks on each. Let me throw my eyes and ears back on and see what that did for my target. All right, now I'm in the black centered square, which is a 2-inch square. I'm in the low left corner of it. So I still need to come up maybe 2 more clicks and go right 2 more clicks. So all right, adjustments are made. Throw my ears back on, top my magazine off. And let's see where we're at. Probably 2 more clicks, both each direction or same direction. So, and you'll notice I'm emptying the gun every time because I don't want to be wandering, waving a hot gun around the range, although thankfully I'm currently the only person out here. Granted, it's only like 6:30 in the morning. All right, 2 more clicks right, and go 2 more clicks up. All right, let's see what that does. I could probably go back 1 click left, but I am right where I want to be. So let's see here if I can line my screwdriver up. Hey, I can see better now. All right. Let me top this mag off. A few more rounds. And then next to, just to the right of my paper target here, is a dueling tree with 6 plates. So I'm going to see how it does on the tree, or how I do with it on the tree. Granted, this is, again, the first time I've shot this gun, and I do like it. It's actually feels very good in my hands. So let's see where we're at on the tree. I'm all over the place. Why? Okay, I'm not missing. The plates aren't moving. So let me go back on the paper just to see if I'm where I would think I am. Yep, I'm hitting right. So that dueling tree is frozen. I do have another plate rack. Let me stand it up here. And we'll see if these things actually fall. So one of the other concerns that people have mentioned is talking about the additional size and weight that the optic adds to the gun. And their concern is concealment issues. So if you're carrying a subcompact gun, there are smaller optics for the subcompact guns. If you're carrying just a standard full size or a compact, there are larger optics that fit those. And basically, let me make this gun clear again. Again, it's clear. You'll notice here this optic is almost the exact same width as the slide. It does add some height to it, but when the gun is holstered, whether it's appendix up front or if you carry it at a 3-4 o'clock position, it doesn't add any, it doesn't become a concealment issue. It does make holster choice a little bit different. So you can't just grab any holster, but it doesn't make it more difficult to conceal. But depending on what kind of clothing you wear, it could be an issue when you go to draw. But again, these are things that you work around. It doesn't do you any good to carry a concealed firearm for protection if you can't actually use your sights. So there's trade-offs. Let's see if I can actually hit this plate rack now. All right. And the other thing I will say about this, about red dot optics, I'm one of those people, I could never shoot iron sights with both eyes open. It might be the fact that I'm a right-handed shooter and I'm left-eye dominant. It might be the fact that my brain just doesn't work that way. I could never get my eyes to pick up the iron sights with both eyes open. With a red dot, both eyes are open. I don't have any issues running a red dot, both eyes open, which, if speaking from a self-defense, tactical, whatever kind of scenario you want to talk about, home defense, self-defense, any kind of shooting where you are potentially facing people who intend to do you harm, you want to keep your eyes open, both of them, because if you close one of your eyes, you lose a lot of situational awareness. So if you're having to close your eyes to focus on iron sights, or close an eye to focus on iron sights, you're losing half your peripheral vision, and that can be very bad for you. So that is another huge benefit to red dots. It's just the same as running a red dot on a rifle. You can run both eyes open all day long, whereas if you're using iron sights, most of us, granted, I shouldn't say most of us, speaking for myself, I cannot run iron sights on a rifle with two eyes open. So that was so this gun here is the Walther PDP F Series 3.5-inch barrel. I have over here a Walther PDP full size in the 4.5-inch barrel. You'll notice it has a red dot on it. That's actually a Delta Point Pro. And then on my everyday carry gun, let me clear it real fast. My everyday carry gun is a Springfield Hellcat, and I've got a SIG Romeo Zero optic on here. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of this optic. It's a plastic body, so it could get damaged a little bit easier. That said, I've had it on here for 2 years and I haven't damaged it. So if I do ever do if I have any failures with this optic, I will end up replacing it with one of the Holosun compact optics, one of their smaller optics, because I think they're generally speaking, a better optic than this for not a lot more money. So anyway, I'm going to actually run a few rounds through this because I haven't shot this gun in years. It is a this one. So there's another thing on red dots. They all have different sizes. I'm pretty sure the Holosun is a 2 MOA dot. This guy here, this Romeo Zero, comes in a couple different sizes. This is actually the 6 MOA dot. So I'm going to stand that plate rack up again real quick, throw some practice ammo in my carry gun here, and put some rounds through it and see if I can hit steel with it. And I'm going to grab a pair of clear shooting glasses. Put my sunglasses down. That way you can see that my eyes are open, both eyes are open when I'm shooting, as opposed to having to close an eye for iron sights. So, plate rack is stood back up. The Hellcat's loaded with practice ammo. My dot is on. Let's see what we got here. That one. There it goes. I don't know why I was having trouble with that one plate. Let's see if those move. No, those are still not moving. So the dueling tree is frozen for some reason, but the drop-down plate rack is hitting fine. So again, I hope that answers some of your questions about red dots and why you would, as a concealed carrier or somebody who's looking for their equipping their defensive home defense handgun, why you'd want to consider a red dot optic. Oh, I totally failed to address this point too. Unless you're putting night sights on your firearms, which some people do, and I do on most of my guns. Some guns now come with them, thankfully, so it saves you an added expense. But the other plus to red dot sights is you can see them at night. So again, there's all kinds of benefits to red dot optics. There are a few drawbacks, but in my opinion, the benefits far outweigh the drawbacks. So again, if you have any other questions, or if you have any questions that I didn't address here in this video, fire away in the comments and we'll see what we can do for you. I will do my best to answer them. And just one other thing, like I always say, practice your ABCs. Always be carrying.